Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science and Technology. In today's show, Rocket Monday, we're going to talk about China's space leap in 2025. So let's dive deep into it. Now we are looking at the holistic picture, what the hell is going on, because this is shocking. So CNSA, as in China National Space Administration, let that be very clear, there was some precursors, but this is the time where they put it like, this is what we're going to do. So CNSA was created in 1993, 33 years ago. Now their core point, be mindful, this Chinese Communist Party got the luxury of seeing Cold War in 4K, so to say. They actually saw how big of an impact space technology had. So they learned it the very hard way that thou shall not have like, hey, Soviet Union, can you launch stuff for me? So self-reliance was one pillar. Second pillar was indigenous innovation. This is smart of them. Like I have to say that India only learned indigenous innovation is important once we got bitch slapped by USA by disabling our GPS, as in like we had legal contract of that GPS. They're like, nah, we're gonna disable it. So in Kargil war. So after that we learned it like, hey, never have GPS from other nation. Then we created our own system, Navik system. They knew it before us. So self-reliance, indigenous innovation and prestige, they realized very early on is the fact of having an actual space program. Like, and I do not mean the small chump change, like actual GG space program is priceless, flat out priceless. So it was a very clear what you call goal for them. Now does it show, like anybody can have a dream, right? But do you have the willpower for it? Yes. Financial priority has been very high in the national budget, even though country is like, since 1993 you can trace it, right? Even though it's like, government is dealing with some problem, this or that, like the budget would not be cut. Like they're very clear. Of course they're not flexing it to up or down, but it is very stable. It's like, stable, steady. And USA and USSR were already in space. Now again, they did not smoke North Korea's weed, so they are not like, we are the first. They are like, hey, we're gonna be third. But the idea was, this is completely different from many other smaller nation, is that we're gonna eventually surpass them. The idea was, yes, it's almost like how America did to Soviet Union. Soviet Union first to orbit, cool, awesome, GG. We're gonna be first to moon, cool. Their plan is first to Mars. It was very clear. It's not that we're gonna match you, we're gonna exceed you. Again, it will take time. They are very clear on it. It will take time. They knew about it, that it's gonna take some sweet ass time. But they're like, we're gonna do it. Eventually, we're gonna do it. And they have the benefit of observing both Soviet Union mistakes and American mistakes. So they are doing things far more what you call cautiously, far more, oh, we know space shuttle designs are not a wise idea, so they are not building their own Buran, they are not building their own space shuttle. They're like, bro, those things don't work. Let's just use a normal rocket. Let's be happy about that. So they have certain luxury that other neither USA had nor USSR had. And they have a very clear long-term goal, big dreams, and patience. The scary part, like the part that Jeff Bezos has. So if I want to give you a contrast how big a deal this is, well, India has like a lot of amazing people, including Vikram Sarabhai, very important, very pivotal in getting us wings, so to say. However, this is the core difference between Chinese philosophy and Indian philosophy. We almost have like fear of failure. We almost, this is like this line, to us there is no ambiguity of purpose. We do not have the fantasy of competing with the economically advanced nation in the exploration of moon or the planets or manned space flight. This crippled ISRO's wing, basically. And again, why this was a bad deal, even though you might think it sounds logical, because again, India was broken after independence. It was like, I am poor, my child would be poor, and his child will also be poor. And again, they knew for a fact, like, yeah, China's were bricked, like kaput. They were not swimming in money, but they were like, hey, just because I am not rich does not mean my child will not be. And just because he, let's just say, barely goes to middle class does not mean his child cannot cross above that. So they had a very clear goal, like, no, just because our starting point is, ugly, does not mean we can't move. And this whole point, like, why don't you have fantasy? Like, why don't you dream? Like, again, they could have just said, in time. Nothing more. I'm not asking anything more, just in the time. And again, this is why we had to learn the lesson hard way, that after Kargil war we had to learn, we have to build our own NAVIC system. They learned it very early on, that indigenous innovation is a very hard concept to understand, because many times, let's just use them for launching or cheaper and all that, but like they have, like, I have to say, like, some people in CCP has long-term planning and it shows. And again, if you ever wonder, like, if ISRO has so much brain power, why the heck they does not have the wing equivalent to that brain power? This is the reason. Our foundation, it's basically, Marco Inaros says that in the TV show Expanse, is like, even our dreams are small. We do not have the fantasy of competing. And again, you look at India right now. We are at the 4th ranking, and we are only 75 years old. Like, we're working our ass off, and we had like 200 years of Mughal Empire, 200 years of East India Company, and we still crawl back from shift deleted country to literally the 4th position, and we are still growing. We are just starting. So that dreaming, like, something is not there in India. Like, we do not have that bossy dreams. But again, we have a lot of brain power. And after bitch slap, we do kind of wake up. So how does China grew? Well, here's the deal. The Dongfang Hong, that was the first craft they launched. That was in 1970. This was their getting into space seriously. Now, like, wait a minute. Didn't their agency was created in 1993? Yes, I said they had a precursors. Like, again, USA also had precursors before NASA. So that is the same thing. Although they have this almost Indian philosophy of having one rocket name, Long March rocket, that's it. Every rocket is Long March. Every rocket made by government is Long March rocket. The end. There is nothing more than that. It's almost like how India has SLV, satellite launch vehicle. All our rockets are satellite launch vehicle. It has P, polar satellite launch vehicle. G, geostationary satellite launch vehicle. The end. So it's the same philosophy. Now they have made 12 variants. Now let that be very clear. Does not mean all 12 are active at this point in time, and not to mention there are more than 12 variants, because there are many of sub variants. Basically, you have Long March 1, 2, 3, 2E, 2F, 2D, 2C. 2C is still functional. 2D is functional. 2F is functional. Long March 3A, 3B, 3C, 4B, 4C, 5, 5B, March 6, 6A, 6C. They keep iterating on it, and then like Long March 12 and all that. So they have a very, what you call, diverse portfolio, like some GG portfolio they have. And right now their big daddy is this puppy, March 5, Long March 5. And this is a heavy class rocket, as in it's heavier in principle. Actually, not even principle. Practically, it is more heavier than Falcon 9. Falcon 9 in principle can send 23 ton to low Earth orbit if completely disposed of. It will not be reusable. If you want to send 23 ton to low Earth orbit and you want to reuse the rocket, or more than that, like 26 ton or 25 ton, you need to use Falcon Heavy. This is that. Again, not reusable, but it can do 25 ton. So it's a beefy puppy, and it can do 14 ton to geostationary orbit. So they're not messing around. It is a heavy rocket. So that is there. And they have two big daddy rocket under construction, which is Long March 9 and Long March 10. Do not ask me why the 10 is smaller than 9, but it is what it is. So 9 is this puppy, basically SLS made with modern vision rather than copy paste of space shuttle hardware. So this is that. And yes, this will be 150 ton to low Earth orbit, basically SLS class rocket, but this will be reusable. From day one, they are designing it to be reusable. It's basically, what if you design a rocket from a clean sheet rather than we have this part that we made in space shuttle, but this was BS part. Let's not throw it away. Let's continue the jobs. Let's continue the BS job and create a constellation. Okay, job, then delete that project, then create SLS. No. What if you have a clean sheet? This is what you will make. So another rocket which they are prioritizing right now, it's a Long March 10, that is 70 ton class rocket. That would be closer to what you have when we are talking about New Glenn V2 rocket. Basically, where they're increasing the engine from I think 9 engines, from 7 engines they're increasing to 9 engines, and like upper stage is going from 2 engines to 4 engines. That would be 70 ton. So some heavy puppy they are working on, and they are the only one that can even come in the same ballpark when it comes to launch cadence. Meaning, every Tom Dick, we have space program, every place has that, but in terms of launches, it's not even, what you say, close, so to say. As in, USA will be doing 150, 160, China would be doing 60, 70, and third place would be Russia. Basically, third place is so low, it's almost like how population map is. India, China, third place. Same thing is here, rocket. China, USA, third place. Third place is very low. It's like 15, 16 launches a year. So it's a completely different ball game when you are talking about. They are the only one that is like, no, we are in the same zone. Like, you are in triple digit, we are approaching triple digit. Everybody else is like, yeah, we'll be lucky if we reach 25. So growth is exponential, like damn exponential. And they have learned a lot. Basically, they used to use hypergolic rockets. From that to like, okay, let's make bit safer rocket, because we drop our own rocket stage on our own people. So hypergolics, they are slowly moving away from hypergolics, and all the modern rockets are non-hypergolic. So they are making some serious ground. Now, so far, so good. It's just a thing, but they reached a and be mindful, there are only 3 nations that have managed to do it. So each of them get to name it. As in, America named it astronaut, Soviet Union named it cosmonaut, and China named it taikonaut. So China, taikonaut, basically the first taikonaut was this gentleman that was on 15 October 23, as in like, 2003. So not that long ago, so to say. So they did that, and they became the third nation to send people to space. Although ironically, for short duration or maybe for long duration, they are the second nation that can do it, because Russia just lost its launch pad. So for short duration or maybe even long duration, if Russia puts too many things, it might not be able to recover it. So they are the third nation to send people in space in race terms, and their first space station, like they were not holding back. They're like, okay, we sent people to, cool, awesome, let's build space station. First space station, Tiangong-1, was in orbit in 2011. Now be mindful, it was just a big ass module just to test things out. Tiangong-2, again, same module, but test some other stuff out. That was done in 2016. And this was just a bigger test, a more better life support and all that. They tested all of that. Why? Well, their final project, Tiangong Space Station. So space station was almost like ISS, as in like launch one module, launch another module, assemble it. And if like, okay, how the heck they are able to do it when America could not build Freedom Space Station? They actually had to use Russia to, in order to, like, help things along. Again, it was too expensive. Why? Space shuttle was too expensive. They learned it. Simpler rockets, much more logical sense. So Tiangong station was launched in orbit in April 2021, and they has been continuously crewing that puppy from June 2021, meaning they almost match the same level of Mir space station, as in like always having people inside from June 2021, and single nation only. That's a big deal. And again, it's just started, as in like we do not know how many years they can keep it up, or will they grow, or will have second station or something like that. But so far, holy damn, they are making good progress. And they have carried out 36 manned flights, which is good. And end of 2025, like basically count from all of them, like from 15 October 2003, and 22 of them are for sending people to space station. Because again, now they have the continuous rotation. They are rotating crew every 6 months, so they are maintaining continuous presence. They are doing everything like spacewalks, everything, outside maintenance, everything about this project. It's basically looking at every mistake of Soviet projects, every mistake of American projects, and optimizing it. Everything about is logical, cost effective. Not the greatest, not the whoa, but it's more like, we do not need a truss structure and this building. Like, we don't actually need that. And to be fair, the next generation of private space station, they are also still module docking. You don't need truss. Truss was the most, what you call, overcomplicated part of space station. That giant trusses, like, you don't actually need that. Like, not necessary, bruh. So that's what they are doing. Is everything is logical. Can we do it, and can we sustain doing it? So if things go continue, they will be able to expand the station and may even have a second station. And yes, they are planning on it. So this is the manned program. Amazing progress they have made on that. Now, so far so good. They also have a lunar program. And again, this is why I keep saying their philosophy was very clear. It's like, Soviet Union did orbit first, America did moon first, we're gonna do Mars first. Of course, they're not saying it, but that was day one project. It's like, yeah, this is, we're gonna do it. Of course, they are learning, evolving, adapting everything based on observation. So they are doing it far more, what you call, methodically. It's like, no, can we sustain it? Yes, then move forward to it. And including the finance, they are never burning too much money. That's why they have their own cadence, so to say. It's like, no, can we sustain this? Only then do that cadence. So lunar project started with Chang'e-1. That was a satellite that was orbiting moon. That was in 2007. They did not announce it. That was like a whole series of projects planned for it. And Chang'e-3 was the first that landed on a moon on 14 December 2013. And Chang'e 5 was the first time they landed 23 November 2020, and they did sample return, meaning it landed. And be mindful, almost all mission had a clone mission. Basically, Chang'e 1, there was Chang'e 2 also. And the idea was if Chang'e 1 fails, they will use Chang'e 2 to refine it. As in, like, oh, you had this error, we have Chang'e 2. Like, everything was designed same way. Like Chang'e 5, there was Chang'e 6 also. And again, they launched it. It's just that Chang'e 6 was delayed in such a way that it's like, hey, we're going to launch it, we're going to do the mission. If something goes wrong, all the update will be applied to 6. Exactly how they were doing in Cold War. But like nowadays, like too much hassle is there in USA, so they are still going the old school. Make two of them, make one cascade launcher, like launch one. If it works, cool, awesome. Launch the second, you get double the benefit. But don't do that, like, launch one, if it works, cool. If it does not, okay, try to create new project. No, like, it's a very systematic approach, very calm approach. And yes, it's actually economically cheaper to build two craft than to build one craft, because again, if that one craft fails, there is no fallback. If you have fallback, the amortized cost of two projects is far more logical. So they have learned enough, and all missions are duplicated, and almost all of them are succeeding completely. So they are doing, and the current target is Long March 10 rocket, which is 70 ton. I specified, like, big ass rocket. But here's the deal: you were like, okay, if Soviet Union was planning a lunar rocket and it was again 150 ton to low Earth orbit, Saturn 5 150 ton to low Earth orbit, why this 70 ton low Earth orbit will do, like, lunar bar? Because again, rocket engine did not change that much. Material science has improved, but not that much. So how can they do it? Well, they learned you don't need a super giant rocket. Big rocket was fine enough. 70 ton, fine enough. What do? You dock it. And if you know how Saturn 5 worked, it also did docking. Basically, it went up, detached it, rotated, pull the lunar module, and then go. So it's like, it does not have to be carried in the same rocket. There is no reason for that. They thought that it worked, and again, it was simplified architecture. But again, that's why they could not sustain Saturn 5 project. It was too goddamn expensive. They're like, hey, simplify, elegant device, 70 ton, two rockets, docking, go, logical, go. That's why I said, like, it's hilarious that Elon Musk has somehow convinced the world that we're going to launch a rocket, which is second stage, and then we're going to refuel that puppy more than 10 times, and then we're going to land that on moon. And somehow that would be logical. And here China is like, bro, launch two, dock, go. Done. Even Blue Origin has logical approach where it's like, you launch, you have one tanker, one mission. So they have very clear-cut goals. Like, every aspect of them is very clear-cut. This is what we are doing. This is how we are doing it. And they have a roadmap. They do not have the cocaine damage of NASA, where they're like, what if we had a space station in lunar orbit? Why do you want to cook astronaut with radiation? You are not inside the Van Allen belt. You do not have the shielding that you get on ISS. As in, like, ISS does cross the Van Allen radiation belt, but first, shoot. It's not continuous 24/7 into 365 cooking. And again, if you landed people on the moon, you halve that exposure. So it has, and again, once you start to layer regular, which again, that is their plan. They are not planning to just go and land and come back. No, they have a full-fledged plan of making base. That's why I said it's a very clear-cut goal. We are not gonna match you. We're gonna beat you. So they are very clear on that. Let's not do cocaine. Let's not put things in orbit, because again, if you need communication, we have CubeSats. It's cheap, it's easy, done, go home. So the whole point, projects to high probability, meaning they can succeed. Now, to be fair, assuming Starship actually works, as in, like, actually carries 100 or 150 ton to low Earth orbit, just lower orbit, they can still do this. As in, like, have two crafts, dock it, go to moon, do everything. No longer, I have no idea, like, but again, this is the same guy who's like, what if we remove LiDAR from cars? It will not be self-driving. You always have to watch the road, because, well, cameras hallucinate, because our eyes hallucinate after a million years of evolution. So, again, the same thing. We're going to drill a tunnel and we're going to drive car into it. Why? Even put battery trains, it would have made sense. Just like, again, he does things and people just like, oh. So again, it could be done. You could salvage basically Starship, again, assuming you want to beat the timeline, 2030s. That's the whole point of them. They, I think, announced it in 2018 to public that we are targeting 2030s landing. Now, what does it mean 30s? Well, it could be 31 or it could be 35. That sort of people are guessing, because again, Long March 10 is not fully ready yet. But again, everything else is going on precisely as planned. They said they're going to do Chang'e 5, they did it. They said they're going to do Chang'e 6, they did it. So that 30s target is actually meetable. And that's why Artemis is expedited, that you must land before that point. You must land before China does. Now, so far, so good, but China also learned that they can't match USA, not because they can't match NASA, they can easily do that. It's just that NASA is no longer doing things. It's the SpaceX that is doing most things. Like literally, NASA does not have a rocket, single rocket, that can do what you call low Earth orbit crew crafts reliably. They have technically SLS, but god damn it, if they launch it multiple times, the whole government will collapse. So again, it's almost like $3 billion they are saying that is per launch. So it's unsustainable. So they learned it. Like if you want to beat America, you can't beat America by beating NASA. You have to beat its private enterprise. And Chinese government is now encouraging private players. It's like, bro, we got this so far. We built the infrastructure. We built all the radio communication. We built the paperwork, all of that. We cool. We got this. Now you guys take up the load. So the idea is they have lot of private players. And let me be very clear. They have lot more than American. Like lot. Like horrifyingly large amount of rocket players. And I'm going to focus on three because be mindful, all these three have put something in orbit. So land space, galactic energy, iSpace, all of them have reached LEO, low Earth orbit. And all of them are working on reusable rocket. And yes, this was a reusable rocket test. And yes, they are the first one who managed to do a methane rocket to orbit before SpaceX. Oh, to be fair, before ULA also. Because ULA was the first American one. So they did this. Now, like, okay, but it crashed. It does not matter. If they are building a rocket, if they are building high enough cadence that they can keep building it, I can be damn sure by 2026, they will have at least one reusable rocket landing. And by 2030s, they could easily be, this is a thing that happens. It's just a thing. We launch a rocket and we recover rocket. So they are learning and they are catching up. And the most ironic part is, what if somebody looked into like, Starship is like, hey, Control C, Control V, and just change two things. Throw away that weird tile design, just to glue the goddamn tile. Throw away basically stainless steel, put a lithium aluminum alloy, and done. Done. They don't even need engines that are bonkers as a Raptor. They're like, even normal engine will be able to do it. And then teach people is like, hey, you remember Apollo? That is the fastest manned craft ever did a re-entry on Earth. Yeah, that was aluminum. I have no idea how the heck people got convinced of this idea. It's like stainless steel can survive re-entry. Everything that did re-entry with humans inside did it with aluminum. Falcon 9 is lithium aluminum alloy. So, or maybe even Ultraflex. I doubt this Ultraflex will happen because I don't think there one is any person as rich as Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos make that original rock craft, which was that interplanetary transport, 12-meter diameter and carbon fiber. Like that will have so much benefit of a surface area to volume ratio. Is going to be much lighter, again propellant wise, and it's going to be super lightweight because of the carbon fiber. It will be like, bro, 100 ton, 300 tons. That will be just flexing at that point in time. Although let's see what happens, but I'm pretty sure this company will figure out how to land 2030s. Before 2030s, landing rocket would be a normal thing. You just hope that by that time, Rocket Lab finally starts to land Neutron and Blue Origin starts to land rocket. So this was my presentation on like the holistic picture of what the hell is going on with China. I hope you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please hit the like button, share it amongst a friend. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show my disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.